Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today it's time for our weekly look at deals under $10 covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. The Christmas sales, they really have kicked into gear though, and they've brought along with them some amazing deals. As is becoming more and more frequent though, this one's going to be a little bit on the quickfire side. I have 20 games to cover and some seriously strong budget options. So with that luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, a Merry Christmas, and yeah, let's get started. So before we do kick this off today, I have another giveaway for you. After the popularity of the last one, I wanted to kick off the Christmas season the right way, so I do have a Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. Edition to give away. This was launched to celebrate the Mario 35th anniversary. It's a great little handout honestly, and this time I'm also including two runners-up that will receive a $10 eShop gift card. Winners, they'll be announced in next Thursday's video, and the link is down below in the comments to enter. Simple enough though, honestly. Visit the channel, visit the Twitter page, and maybe check out the second channel, PlayStation Corner, as that will be going like full speed in the new year, so I'd love to see you all over there. Alright, now really, let's finally get started. So first up, Super One More Jump. It's coming in with 95% off, and I'm a big fan of this one. Concept is simple. It's an auto runner with a single button, which you guessed it is to jump, and you must navigate increasingly complex levels, and yeah, this one should keep you busy for a while for a very low amount of cash. As I say, that price, a new all-time low. I think it's fair to say as well, it's unlikely we're ever gonna see it get any lower, so consider adding it to your collection if you like your ultra challenging type of gameplay. While I'm on the platformer theme then, Evergate, this was a surprise drop at an Indie Direct this year. Set around the theme of the afterlife, it has some similarities to Super Meat Boy in its design, but think here a heavier focus on puzzle solving rather than facing, constant death. That said, you're gonna fail a lot still. It's a beautiful game though, with its hand-drawn style, and after a permanent price drop recently, it's now even throwing in 20% off to sweeten the deal even more. This one deserves success though. It is an absolute gem, and it's one I've featured on multiple occasions. A short hike now, and like the name suggests, you'll maybe get an hour, 2 hours of gameplay out of this one if you don't, beat everything, get all the collectibles, but what a fantastic journey it is. From the moment I booted it up, it just captured that sense of magic and heart that I think every game strives for but often misses. The idea simple: climb to the top of a mountain as you face some personal scenarios, but this one's something special, and it's on offer right now with 20% off, marking a new all-time low, and it does again come highly recommended. I'll link my full review in the comments down below. First person shooter fans, the king is back. Duke Nukem 3D with a huge 50% off, and let's face it, that price, it was a steal to begin with. While it is missing some minor DLC due to the publishers behind them, this is how you do a port the right way. You've got different graphical options, HD rumble, gyro controls, newly recorded dialogue from the king himself, and even online multiplayer. Sure, it's old school, especially in its visual style, and there's many imitators out there no doubt with a more modern look, but few capture the attitude that Duke can bring to the table, and this still feels great to this day. A Switch classic now, Golf Story, is bringing 50% off. We don't see this on sale too often. It's well loved though, with good reason. It's blending together the idea of golf gameplay, then it's kind of bringing to the table an adventure story with role-playing elements. When I first heard the idea, I think my first question was, but why? And yeah, absolutely proved me wrong. I love this world. There's some strong pixel work, and I promise you a ton of characters and secrets to uncover. Roll on the sequel now, Sports Story, which is scheduled to drop next year. Stealth strategy fans, then consider checking out Party Hard 2. This dropped earlier in the year, but this is the first ever sale we've seen, and it's straight into the sub $10 category with 50% off. The idea: you're a psychopath that doesn't like the noise created from clubs and parties, so your solution? Kill every single one of them with a ton of weapons and traps to utilize. It has this extremely dark sense of humor, but this sequel here, it dialed up the strategy just a tiny bit with a more what I'd call focused experience with individual targets and the like. If you want to try the concept, you can also grab the first entry right now too, and that one's going for maybe a couple of bucks. While I'm on strategy, let's do a couple of heavy hitters here. First, Into the Breach. This hasn't been on sale since last Christmas, which given how 2020 went, it feels like a lifetime ago, but it's finally back. Here it's getting another 50% off and it's an absolute steal. It's for turn-based fans as you take on the role of the last remaining humans defending the Earth in mechs. Giant ass mechs as well, from creatures on a rampage. Fantastic game, a ton of depth, and it comes from the team behind Faster Than Light. Check out a review first though, make sure it's gonna be one for you because there is a lot of depth here. Second then, Tiny Metal. This one set out to fill the hole left from the lack of an Advanced Wars, continuation, and I've gotta say it mostly succeeds. If the pixel work of Into the Breach maybe wasn't for you, then maybe check out this 3D cel shaded style. It may just be like what you're looking for. Think here though, multiple units, small battlefields, and that bite-sized take on the genre as you battle with warring factions. And I gotta say that story, the warring factions piece, it's actually pretty decent. Again though, this one's 50% off and we haven't seen it on sale since maybe like March or April earlier this year. A personal favourite of mine now, Demon's Tilde. It took a genre never really got like heavily into, and this thing hooked me. It's through and through a pinball game, but it's all the elements around that make it kind of stand out. It gives almost a bullet hell and hack and slash vibe to Proceedings. Stunning pixel work, a great synthwave like soundtrack. I went in honestly expecting metal from the name, and yeah, well worth a look. The problem now for me, I can't quite find another game like it, and I really do want more. 50% off though is a great price, and it's the first time it's dropped sub $10, and the devs here, they support this thing constantly, like rolling out patches and updates. Gonner 2 is a great price and the first sale we've seen since the launch discount, but it comes with a warning. This is a procedurally generated game. It has roguelike elements and it is hard as nails, much like the original. Here you're taking on the role of Ik. Death needs your help to basically rid of some enemies that have taken over her lair, and that's kind of where you set out on this adventure. Story, it isn't really a focus, but the platforming and twin stick like shooting, absolutely fantastic fun. It even has a party co-op mode for up to 4 players locally. 30% off though as well, brings it into budget range for the first ever time. While I'm on local multiplayer as well, pretty much one of the best available on the Switch, it's Death Squared, and here it's 93% off and it offers support for 1, 2 or 4 players. The idea, it's a puzzle game set around the idea of cooperation, of like talking through the problem. Each player though controls a cube-shaped robot and they must simply navigate the path through this world to their individual exit. That said, you're gonna die a lot and will no doubt kind of be laughing together as well as screaming at each other. Great little game that's received a ton of updates and support too over the time since it's been launched, and again I really do think this would be a great one on Christmas Day especially. Quickly now before we move on with the list, I want to just shout out 4 games I featured in last week's episode that were UK exclusive, but they finally hit for the US and Canada, and these are too good not to mention. We have Ease Origin with 50% off, Super Meat Boy with 60% off, Wilmot's Warehouse with 40% off, and then Project Warlock also with 50% off. These, as I said, they're all finally on sale in the US and Canada, so if you do want to know more information, I'll link my videos on all of them in the pinned comment down below. Alright, so not the lowest we've ever seen, but close enough. Furi is rocking 60% off and it's probably up there as one of my favourite games on the Switch. This is a 3D boss rush entry, meaning you'll have one boss fight after another. Nothing else really. There's some brief walking moments, they push the story forward, but that is about it. The gameplay though, it's blending together hack and slash like gameplay with bullet hell sensibilities, and in my eyes it's an absolute masterpiece, but also I will say not for the faint of heart, because it will kick your ass over and over again. Then the visuals, the soundtrack, it's all incredible, so take a look if you don't mind that challenge. Retro fans, Iron Crypticle is a new all-time low with 70% off. This one is a game I actually originally experienced on the mighty PS Vita. It's great to see it finally getting a second wave of love because it absolutely deserves it. In this one, treasures have been stolen and you are a knight on the hunt for them. With local support up to 4 players, this has similarities in style to Enter the Gungeon. It's basically a top-down twin-stick shooter with those roguelite elements, but it's another fantastic experience that you should check out. Basically expect to die a lot though while grabbing loot, upgrading, finding new weapons and all that good stuff. While I'm on roguelites then, Atomicrops is coming in with 40% off, and this is the first time we've seen this one hit that sub $10 mark. Here it's blending together roguelite gameplay with farm sim. Yes, you heard that right. Here though, you'll be watching over crops, often protecting them. How you can even go ahead and get married. Takes a little while to get going, and it's a little light on guidance, but once you kind of get it and piece it together, it all surprisingly works well together, and I just love that post-apocalyptic setting that they've gone for. Our penultimate game of the week then, Timespinner. It sees a rare sale and along with it a new all-time low, bringing it below that $10 mark. Here we have a relatively traditional 2D action platformer, but it introduces some really cool mechanics to help you along the way. This one, it has the age-old, revenge tale after your family is murdered, but it is a good ride with some stunning pixel work on show, and it is pretty much loved by most out there for being a worthy addition to any platformer fans library. Our final game of the week then, this is a favourite of mine. I reviewed it on the channel, but ATOMIK RunGunJumpGun, like the recently released Super Meat Boy Forever that I reviewed on the channel just a couple of days back, or actually yesterday, so if you want to check that out, please do. But this is an auto runner with a hell of a challenge that is for sure going to push you to your limit. Probably one of the hardest games I've played on my Switch. Its mechanics are simple, but its levels absolutely unforgiving, as you can either simply shoot forward at your foes or obstacles, or down to essentially propel yourself up. The story isn't much, honestly, but the characters are incredibly unique, and I really like what they did with this one, from the neon tinged pixel art to the stunning synthwave-like soundtrack. I strongly suggest this one if you don't mind dying 1,000 times and still pushing forward, still pressing restart, because honestly, it is, as I said, gonna say it again, absolutely brutal. With 75% off though, for me, this is an absolute must buy. And that's it, another week down. Will you be adding anything to the collection this week, or taking a break from spending that cash? I know it's going to be a busy time for a lot of people out there. Remember again then to enter the competition, our mini Christmas giveaway with a couple of gift cards at Super Mario Game & Watch. I've linked it down below. With that then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.